Woods involved in a single-car rollover accident just outside of L.A. yesterday morning. He underwent surgery for, quote, significant injuries to his right leg and ankle. The good news, Tiger was awake and he was responsive after the surgery. His career, however, that does remain to be seen. But this morning, that is obviously secondary to his health. Nick, I want to start with you. What was your reaction when you heard the news yesterday about Tiger Woods?
Well, when I first heard it, I was just really scared. And now this morning, I'm partially relieved and I'm partially crestfallen. Jenna knows this about me. Some of the audience does. I don't know if Brandon does. Tiger Woods is one of my two favorite athletes ever. And I have like very significant benchmark timelines in my life that I associate with Tiger. In 1996, I remember the room I was in my house. I was, I'm a sixth grader, I guess, fifth grader. My grandfather calls me from Florida. I'm in my dad's office, and he says, you have to turn on the television. There's this kid who's going to be the greatest golfer ever. And it was when Tiger was trying to win his third straight amateur. And that thing went to 2 extra holes. He won it. And from that moment, it was like a drug, and I was hooked. And from 06 to 2008, I think the only constant in my life was Tiger Woods. My parents got divorced. I had falling out and then reunited with family members. I moved a number of times. And Tiger was it. And then, in 2009, I signed up for Twitter. I looked it up this morning. My first tweet ever was about Tiger's car crash, unfortunately, in 2009. And then he was gone from my life, like he was gone from everybody's life for a number of reasons for a long time. And then amazingly, a decade later, I have a family of my own, and my youngest daughter and I bonded over watching him at the Masters. Made her want to this day, pester me about golf lessons, ask me about when we're going to be able to watch Tiger. And I'm so sad, Brandon, because I don't want to say it's a definite, but we probably never see him golf at, hopefully with his son, for fun at times, but this final chapter seems to have been cut short again. So I'm glad he's okay. But this felt, it reminded me of Kobe. And luckily, it doesn't have the full tragic ending that Kobe did. But I had that same sick to my stomach feeling, Brandon. And I'm really sad this morning.
Yeah, Nick, Jenna, that was my first reaction was Kobe. I was actually in the facility in the gym working out. And I walked past the television, and there was no audio, so all I saw was, red breaking news, and you saw Tiger Woods in a car crash. And then when they showed the picture and the image of Tiger's car flipped and just tangled and mangled like that, I was like, oh, no, not again. It took me back to around this time last year, right? And dealing with Kobe. I was actually in Calabasas training Gabe Davis, who the Buffalo Bills took in the draft, wide receiver from University of Central Florida. And a trainer walked in, and they said, Kobe was just in an accident, and Kobe's gone. And the whole room went silent. And I'm in this moment now where I literally flew out to L.A., to Calabasas, to train this kid, and I was like, what do we do and what is going on right now? So that was the first thing I thought about, and I'm just so happy that we're not mourning Tiger right now. And yeah, Nick, you're right. We don't know if he's ever going to play again. We don't know if he's going to be able to play with his son. I'm glad he's here, but this is devastating. And it feels like we're mourning, but I think we should be celebrating because life can be taken away just like that. We saw it with Kobe. We saw it with other greats. We saw it with people this year in the global pandemic. So I'm just thankful that Tiger's here. Tiger is great. Tiger has done some amazing things. He's one of the greatest athletes to ever grace this planet. And he had an amazing career, had an amazing run. If it's over, we still can celebrate him.
Oh, well, listen, I don't, and I know obviously this isn't the morning for the GOAT debate about golf, but for my eyes, for my money, he is far and away the greatest athlete to ever golf and the greatest golfer ever. And it just is, HBO came out a few months ago with a good 2-part documentary on Tiger. And I'm sure he didn't like parts of it. But the parts of it that were about not the personal life, but the golf life, it was a good, almost Cliff's Notes reminder that from the record-setting Masters to his 14th major win at the U.S. Open against Rocco Mediate when he had the broken leg and he won it anyway. That decade, we've never seen anything like it in sports. And it was, the word I would associate with him, Brandon, was invincible. And unfortunately, Jenna, nobody's invincible. And the decade since that U.S. Open victory, I want to say one other thing, and I apologize. I know I'm rambling a bit. I'm like oddly choked up about this. I know he didn't pass. I know he's going to be okay, but it feels like a sports loss. I am so glad, Jenna, he got that Masters moment. That it wasn't, oh, he was close and he's coming back and he's going that. Because if he doesn't get to compete in another major or compete at a high level, that walk to 18, if for that Masters in 2019, which was unlike anything we've ever seen in golf, I know it's not the 18th or 19th major that he wanted to catch Jack, but it's a singular moment in golf history. And if that's his last real golfing memory, it's an amazing one. But this is a tough day as a sports fan. It's a tough day.
I echo that so much. I remember how hard I rooted for him in that Masters. I think we all rooted so